campus chaos across the country.
Pro-Palestinian
Students
protests
at
across
Wesleyan began setting up the encampment earlier today. Police making arrests.
Right here in Connecticut, but it is a different scene at Wesleyan University in Middletown.
Yes, students are protesting and camping out, but the school there is taking a different approach.
It was a trying time for me, being president of the school I love. When the encampment began and there were some violations of our rules, I decided that those violations didn't rise to the level where we should squash the protests with power. People would say, oh, it's a no-win situation, but I actually thought it was an incredible situation for learning about how you navigate very contentious issues in a time of incredible brutality. My job was to make them realize that the other side had something worth hearing.
Michael Roth, president of Wesleyan University, was the first to speak out publicly. Let me first ask you where you discovered the steel in your spine not to break. What was the point at which you said, we cannot do this?
There are some things the federal government can rightly insist upon, but there are some things that the government insists upon that are contrary to law. And I think the outrageous arrest and threatened deportation of international students really made me stand up and write some essays about this, even though I disagree deeply with the politics of those students. That shouldn't matter. In America, you have the right to speak your mind, whether you have a green card or you're a citizen. And for the federal government to just show up one day at your door and take you away because of the ideas you express, that is anti-American, anti-educational, and undermines our freedom. The story for me is, why is the government creating an atmosphere of fear?
Colleges will and must end the anti-Semitic propaganda, or they will lose their accreditation and federal support.
Now we have the government telling you which words you can use, and a declaration that you can't do anything discriminatory, and you shouldn't have any anti-Semitism. And since we think you do, boom, $400 million is gone. There doesn't seem to be any real interest in getting rid of anti-Semitism. What they're doing is using discrimination as a vehicle to punish universities so that the universities say, we will follow what you say we must do.
Michael Roth, the president of Wesleyan University in Connecticut, emphatically refuses to submit to Trump's assault on the freedom of expression. Talk to me about how universities move forward.
The independence of universities is absolutely crucial for doing good work. If you have to make your research conform to the ideology of the people in the White House, the research work you do will be worthless.
It often happens with bullies that they are encouraged when people back down. You know, we do a lot of de-escalating in our world at universities, and it's a good thing. But appeasement doesn't work. When people are coming for the things you most care about, you have to stand up for the things you care about. Because if you don't, the bully, in this case, the White House, they realize you don't really care about it. I can take that. I can take that, and then I can take that, and you don't care about it. And the thing they're taking from us is freedom, our ability to think for ourselves and speak our minds. I worry that we are normalizing a tyrannical government. What we can do, we who support the freedom of expression, is work together to practice freedom.